Entire wardrobe malfunctions were happening. It was just not good. They've been doing this weird little skirty thing. Like literally, whose glutes are these? They're finally getting it. Guys, I wouldn't run in the suede shorts. I learned that the hard way. My thighs really do enjoy a little snack. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing a review of the new Buffbunny Unbreakable collection. This collection is launching on Saturday, March 29th at the normal 1 p.m. Central Time, and as always, you can use code Catherine for 10% off. I also have a support link down there. For some reason, you can't use a code. I always appreciate your guys' support so much. I wouldn't be able to do this for literally like 5 years. At least 5 years I've been reviewing Buffbunny. Someone said I missed a Buffbunny launch the other day in my comments, and I was like, no, I did not. I have never missed one. Restocks don't count because those are the same things. Anyways, today we have the Unbreakable collection. This collection is like the combination of snack and juicy with the bright, fun colors, except actually functional this time because I felt like there were a lot of non-functional pieces in the snack and juicy collection, at least for top's sake last year. Like I loved the colors, it just wasn't really hitting, but we have so many great options in this launch today. We have bras with good coverage, bras that previously did not have good coverage that have now been updated to have better coverage. We have multiple longer top options. The crop era is over. And we have 3 looser style running shorts from Buffbunny, and I am going to give you a comprehensive review of all of the Buffbunny loose shorts that they've ever had and give you the comparisons of all of them so we're adequately prepared for the new running shorts that they have. Now that I am a running short expert and have reviewed like every single pair of highly recommended running shorts, I know what to look for. Anyways, I loved the theme of this collection. Buffbunny has really been hitting us with the very empowering, emotional launch themes lately, and I just love that for them. So without further ado, let's get into it. I also want to apologize. I definitely have less workout tests of things in this review. I normally like to workout test most everything, but I have not been able to work out for like at least a week because I've been having some severe lung pains. So don't worry, I went to the doctor and we know what's going on, but it's always a little bit scary when it really hurts to breathe. So I definitely had to take a little pause this week. It was just a little bit slower, so bear with me. All right, let's start out with some launch colors and color comparisons. Starting out with Atari, we've actually seen this color before, but it's a little bit different now in different fabrics. Paired with Atari, we have Margarita, a nice lime green. I do not have Cotton Candy, but I have its slightly darker counterpart, which is Warhead, and we've surprisingly not have very many true teals from Buffbunny, so very excited to see this. We have Grape Juice, which is this bright pinky purple. Hard Candy, which is our hot pink of the launch. Pop Rocks here, which is back, and we also have a new Pop Rocks fashion print, which everyone always loves the fashion print, and then Pink Starburst as well, which I did not get. We're going to be separating out the launch by fabric because that's how Buffbunny has been separating things out. So we're going to start out with our Nubre pieces, starting out with the Girlfriend sports bra. I notoriously hated this bra. I tried to wear it to the gym once and I had to end up wearing my jacket over my sports bra the entire workout because literally entire wardrobe malfunctions were happening. It was just not good. But they have updated her. So this is the old one, this is the new one. We'll go over the new first. So the Girlfriend sports bra, I got a size small. This is made of the Nubre fabric. It's reversible inside out. So you can either wear it like this one with the fashion print on the outside or the Pop Rocks on the inside. It does not have cup pads because it's reversible. There's really no way to hide that cup pad hole. So it's just a double thickness of the fabric. We have this scooping V neck, inverted V along the waistline, and then very open strappy back. This previously was really only for very wide set small busts, but they have made some adjustments, so I'll insert my side by side. But not only did they bring up the neckline a little bit, but they also just kind of brought in everything so things aren't so wide out there. I have significantly better coverage. I'm actually able to wear this one, and I think I'll actually wear it to the gym, which is shocking because I swore I would never wear this bra to the gym again. So I still wouldn't consider this a large bust bra. Definitely still better for my smaller busted girlies, but it's a lot better for us now. Still low impact and all that, but it's wearable. Let's try her on. Okay, so so much better than before. This bra before literally could not get through an exercise without losing an entire girl. Like, it was so bad. Just a couple changes to this increased the coverage a little bit, but also just brought the coverage in a little bit more because it was so wide bust friendly before. And now as someone with kind of like a center set chest, I feel like I could actually wear this to the gym. I almost did not get this because I really didn't think that the improvements were going to make a difference, but this is so much better. So looking at this bra, we have a deep V and we also have an inverted V along the rib cage. We just have a little seam along the bottom, no secure elastic bands, so definitely takes away a little bit for some lift and support. This is definitely a low support bra, even with the new changes. That being said, I think I'm gonna upgrade this to a low to medium coverage, because before it was definitely a low coverage, but now I actually feel like I could get through a workout in this. Pretty good armpit coverage, really not getting any side boob, and we get scooping here, but honestly, I don't see myself falling out of it. This is a double thickness of the Nubre. It is also reversible inside out, no cup pads. And then we just get the little strappy detail in the back. I would say this is still definitely better for my smaller cup size girlies, but if you have a larger chest, it is now possible to wear this one. I have seen multiple other girls with larger chests wear this and it looks so much better. So huge improvements, and I'm really glad to see that things have changed. Here she is with the fashion print, pairing it with the grape juice legacy leggings. You can either pair this with the grape juice or any Pop Rocks combo. I feel like those are good combinations, but yeah, finally have some fashion print that I can actually wear. Here is the tag that you have to cut off because this is a reversible top. They made it nice and easy to cut away the tag. I like when the fabric is like on the bra material so that in the future I can look back, but with it being reversible, it's not really a possibility here. Next, we have a new bra. We have the reversible racerback sports bra. So again, this is another bra that's reversible inside to out. So you can either wear it with the contrast piping or the inside is full solid. So this one's full margarita. The outside is Atari with margarita piping. It has this nice wrap front detail, decent coverage. I love to see it. A little dart detail at the bottom of the bust, secure elastic band, and a racerback with a little keyhole cutout. This one again does not have removable cups because it is reversible and it's made of the Nubre fabric. So let's try this on. Okay, I am very pleased with the coverage of this bra. I knew when I saw it that the coverage was just going to be better than a lot of wrap bras. The issue with wrap bras is that they can plunge so much where you're just left falling out of them, but this one has really good expansive coverage all the way into the armpit area, just a teeny bit of armpit showing. And I feel like I really get good like inner boob coverage here to the point where I know I can wear this to the gym and not fall out of it. So I would say that this is a large cup size friendly bra, secure elastic band along the bottom. And the wrap also doesn't cut into your bust. There are a lot of wrap bras that have a wrap detail that just goes straight over your bust, as if that's not going to look so bad and give you like a quad boob situation. So I love how this wrap goes right in the middle. Do have a little dart detail at the bottom here. Unfortunately, there are no cup pads. That's one thing I really don't like about reversible bras, is that we do sacrifice the cup pads. So I just put some cakes in here just because I like to have something. And then the back is this cute racerback detail. And on the inside, you have another color with the piping detail. So I'll quickly turn this inside out. But overall coverage rating, I want to say medium to full coverage, but I'm going to go with a medium coverage just because it is quite plunging. And the support is actually pretty good too. Nubre has good compression and the straps are actually pretty thick. So I'm going to go with a medium support. Really big fan of this one. Would have loved to see this last year when we were getting all of the itty bitty twist tops. I much prefer a wrap top versus a twist because we still have really good under bust support here, and I know I'm gonna stay put in this bra. Here it is inside out. Technically, honestly, I might like this even more. I'm a sucker for some contrast detailing, some tonal detailing. They do have logos embroidered on the inside and the outside, and I did have to cut off the tag on this side in order to wear it. It is truly reversible. Our third and final Nubre sports bra, we have the Rosa bra. She's back. I tried to get this the last time the Rosa bra came back. It was in the first collection of this year. The one thing about these new launches that are more like empowerment focused is I simply just don't remember the names of the launches as much. Like I know we had one more. I literally forget what the other one was. Unbreakable. No, this is Unbreakable. What was it? Warrior. That's what it was. They're just all kind of blending together for me. But we had updates to the Rosa bra in the Warrior collection and I was not able to try it at that time. But now we have changes to the Rosa moving forward. The Rosa bra is one of the quintessential Buffbunny Nubre sports bras. We have this scooped neckline, tank straps that split into crisscross straps in the back. It is also a long line sports bra, so you just have a little seam. Then you have a little double layer fabric that just goes down the torso a little bit. Removable cups. And this has always been one of the best BTC friendly bras. We do have some changes from the OG Rosa sports bra though. The biggest change is the coverage has just kind of shifted in the front. I'll insert my side by side, but the past Rosa sports bras have had a slightly higher neckline in the center and then scooped away from the armpit a little bit, so you were getting a little bit of side boob. Now they've kind of shifted that coverage. The side boob coverage is better on the new one, but it has scooped down a little bit in the front, so you do get a little bit more cleavage, where before I never had any cleavage. It's still more coverage than the Rosa scallop bra that I'm currently wearing. But I actually like the new updates because I feel like it makes my girls look better. So we'll do a full try on of this one just because we do have some updates. All right, we have the updated Rosa sports bra. So we saw this first at the beginning of the year, and this is how Rosa will now be moving forward unless there are more changes. So anyways, obviously this is an old color, but classic Rosa shape. We have a scooped neckline, some seams up the bust. It's a classic Buffbunny long line bra, so you have a little elasticated seam here with a long line portion with no seams at the bottom, so it lays very flat along the torso. And then the straps now intertwine in the back instead of just laying one on top of the other. Very minimal change there, but we have that strappy back. It's open, it scoops away from the lats, and then we have, again, a long line back there as well. And obviously the biggest changes, the neckline has been lowered, so this section is now a little bit shorter. Full coverage, now I'm getting more medium to full coverage, so I do have a little bit of a little cleavage moment. Not everyone likes this change because Rosa used to be like the classic full coverage bra. I do like that I'm getting more side boob coverage because before in the Rosa, I was getting a little side boob, so now the side boob coverage is better. And personally, I think this is just a more flattering shape on me, but don't be surprised if you have less coverage than the original Rosa. I'm still getting a solid medium to high support though, because the fabric is just so compressive. The straps are nice and thick. And out of all the Nubre bras, this is probably one of the only ones, besides Candy Wrap, that I would actually run in. I get good enough compression for that. Then we have a top in the Nubre, and here we see the longer length tops. This is what I've been wanting to see. It's longer than a crop, but not quite as long as the like Revolution top that is a full length. This is more like a high hip. Anyways, this is the Highlight Nubre crop. It's a slightly scooped neckline with this double strap detail. So you have one strap that goes around the neck as a halter, but this one really isn't there for support. It's more for decoration. Then we have this contrast strap that crisscrosses in the back, and you also just get that contrast piping all along the top of the back. You have some flattering seam details up in the front here. This does have a full shelf lining with cup pads, so nice and supportive. I'm totally here for this length of top. It's longer than the typical meet and greet like my Karma crop from my launch. We just have a little bit more length to it, so let's try this on. This top was almost perfect. Like, they've been doing this weird little skirty thing at the bottom of the tops, and I don't really get it. We'll get to that in a second, but the design of this top, so cute. Love that they're having, again, instead of crops, we're getting full lengths, because if you want crops or you want things that are like, you know, showing more skin, we have the sports bras. So it's nice that when we have tops, they have a little bit more coverage, meet and greet with the leggings. So anyways, we have a medium to full coverage on the top, great coverage, kind of just a straight across, slight scooping neckline. We do have this one strap that goes around the neck as a halter, but this strap is not the main support. So it's really not very tight along the neck at all. And then we have these secondary straps there that crisscross in the back. So you can kind of see the little halter there, and then you have that contrast color detailing. Because this is so many layers of fabric along the bust, we have the full shelf lining with cup pads, so 2 layers of fabric here, then 1 last layer of Nubre up top, getting actually some good compression and a light to medium support, which is pretty good for having such thin straps. Definitely large bust friendly. There's a lot of good space up in the bust area here. They said this is a waist length top, but I would say it's actually a high hip, because if it's high hip on me, me with the world's longest torso, then this is going to be high hip on most people. So this is definitely longer than the baby tees, where I would consider that more of a true waist length. This is more high hip. This is also longer than anything like my Karma crop. We have some seams along the front here, kind of contour the waist a little bit, and then one along the back as well. And then this is very true to size with your normal sports bra size, and they almost had the sizing right until it just flares away here. And I think they made this so that for people with curvier bodies it wasn't so tight, but it just doesn't really make sense for what they're saying is a waist length top. If it hits the waist, then it shouldn't be flaring away because the waist is the smallest point. So I definitely think this top could use some tweaking, especially since it's not supposed to be a full length top. I don't really think it should really have much of a flare away. Makes sense to have a little bit more space at the bottom just as our bodies naturally go out, but I think the flare is kind of dramatic. So let me know if this looks too weird to wear. I really wanted to wear this outfit, but I just feel like I need to start learning how to sew. I know how to sew, but I don't have a sewing machine. And I also have minimal experience using a sewing machine. But if I could just like take in the side a little bit here, then it would be perfect. But I still do recommend this one. Just be aware of the bottom sizing. Next, we have Legacy bottoms. I've seen these a million times, so we do have some Legacy 6-inch shorts. I didn't get any new ones. This was my original fashion print Legacy shorts. So with the Legacy shorts, we have a 6-inch and a 4-inch. I prefer the 6-inch. They both have a high rise, and high rise hits right at the natural small of your waist. So for me, that's just kind of right above my belly button. We have a double thickness waistband with no front seam, a slightly extended gusset. Then you have the 6-inch and 4-inch inseam options. I recommend 6-inch if you have thicker thighs and you tend to have your shorts kind of roll or ride up. Having a little extra length definitely helps. The thigh seam always has some good grip, but it never cuts into me, so I find the Legacy shorts very thick thigh friendly. And we have that classic Legacy tri-seam detail in the back, slightly curves around the glutes, medium to high on the booty scale. Again, made of the Nubre fabric. And I did get a new pair of Legacy leggings because I wanted to try this grape juice color, but the Legacy leggings are back as well in a bunch of colors. These are an ultra high rise, so they do go slightly above your natural waist. They are very, very high. I kind of am moving away from liking waistbands that are quite so high. I prefer the waistband of the shorts, which is more of a high rise. But classic double thickness waistband, no front seam, slightly extended crotch gusset. We do have a seam that goes down the side. Legacy tri-seam detail in the back with the tonal logo. The Legacy leggings also do have a little seam that splits at the bottom of the calf area to add a little bit more detail down the leg. About a medium compression, Nubre is back to its original thickness, so it does have a little bit of hold to it. It gives you a little bit of cellulite coverage as well, especially compared to the butter fabric. These are just our classic Buffbunny leggings, and I'm glad to see that they continue bringing them back, but I would love to see some micro Legacy because I like the rise of those a little bit better. All right, next we only have one butter fabric piece, and those are the aggressive scrunch highlight leggings. These leggings honestly pair well with any of the Nubre bras or the highlight Nubre crop just because it does have that contrast piping detail. So our aggressive scrunch leggings, we've seen these a couple times before. These don't have any fit updates. All that's changed is a little piping. Pinto, no, you must say hi. Oh, guys, we have a Pinto appearance. He was on his way to sit at the cat tree over there, but we stopped him. Oh my gosh, he's looking at you. You're the cutest. You go do your thing. So the rise on these is definitely lower than the Legacy leggings. They're said to be a high rise. Honestly, I find them to be more mid to high. We have no top band, but the waistband is tapered, so you do get a little bit of snatching at the top of the waist. Sometimes you get a little squishing. We have a soft V at the bottom of the waistband here, a slightly extended crotch gusset. We do have a raised seam that goes down the side of the leg, and they added a little additional seam up here. It's almost giving a Legacy, except it's on the aggressive scrunch. So we have this V contour in the back, and then we have a short back rise seam with an elastic that is scrunched up, so you don't see the scrunching when it's on, but it does go up the cheeks and give you a really nice glute contour. 26-inch inseam, and you guys know with me and the butter fabric, it's just not my favorite. These leggings I really feel like are best for shorter torsos, people who really aren't super camel prone, and people who really just love that low compression fabric. I have actually been wearing these for my solid core classes because I really like a low compression for that, but the camel toe in these always gets me, so let's try them on. All right, you guys, we have the aggressive scrunch contrast leggings. These are a high rise. They're almost pushing mid to high rise, but I still think they technically hit the small of my waist. As I work out in them though, I do feel like they get a little bit lower, so you may enjoy the rise of these if you have a short torso. We have that slight V dip down in the front of the waist here. No front seam. They are made of the butter fabric, so they are a very low compression, very lightweight. The side seam was definitely thickened on these. I don't know if that was intentional, but there are supposed to be no fit changes from this to the original aggressive scrunch. In the back, we have this little double contrast highlight detail. We do have the scrunch in the back. These are more of a short glute friendly legging, meaning this back rise is quite short, so it doesn't come up very high. It just kind of scoops right over the top of the glutes. These are very flattering on the glutes. I would give them honestly high on the booty scale. Super flattering, not a ton of cellulite coverage because the butter fabric is so thin. Got that Buffbunny logo in the back, and then full length view. These have good vertical stretch, so I'm basically able to get a full length out of them. Every time these leggings come in, I want to love them, but they're called the aggressive scrunch leggings. For me, they're the aggressive camel leggings because every time I try to wear these to the gym, I just get like crazy crotch tension. So camel toe is very individual from person to person, so it's not going to happen for everyone. It does happen for me. I find that when I do wear these, I do sometimes wear them to my solid core classes because I like a lower compression legging for that. I just wear them a little bit lower and don't really pull them up the glutes quite as much, and then that kind of solves the camel problems. But then they're kind of like mid-rise. I just don't love it. So if you are camel toe prone and have a longer torso, camel toe may be an issue for these. And I know that they are working on improving the durability of the butter fabric, but I don't know if that has gone into effect yet. So I would still suspect that the butter fabric tends to pill easier than basically any other Buffbunny fabric. I love the style of these, but personally they wouldn't be something I would reach for very much. Okay, post solid core update with the new set. The top was great. Leaned over the entire class, never lost a girl, so very secure. In terms of the leggings, as always, I do get a little bit of camel toe. Again, I try not to pull them up too much so that doesn't happen. I also will say, normally with butter fabric, wherever I put my seat belt, I get like a line of pilling, like immediately, or not even pilling, just like pre-pilling. And with these so far, I had a lot of errands to run afterwards. I did not get any of that. It's all looking pretty good so far. So I do think they're making steps to improve the butter fabric durability. All right, next we're moving into Halo fabric. This is that ultra soft, stretchy modal spandex that they use for some tops. Here's an up close of the Halo fabric. Super lightweight, super breathable, and has a lot of flow to it. Starting out with the Halo baby tee, I don't actually think that I've reviewed this on a Buffbunny review, but I did do an entire baby tee video where I compared all the best baby tees. So we have gone into detail about this before. This is the Lover Pink, so not one of the new colors. So this is made of that modal spandex, has some nice flow to it. It's a very, very thin fabric. Almost all of the colors have some degree of sheerness. So keep that in mind when pairing what you want to wear underneath it. Super high stretch, and it's a waist length. This one I would say is a true waist length, where the highlight Nubre crop is more high hip. We have some little seam details that come down the front. It's a classic baby tee fit. It's body skimming, but slightly loose at the bottom. So if you're in between sizes, you probably could size down. It's also super stretchy. Very simple in the back as well. These are kind of growing on me. I love how sleek they look, but they definitely do have some sheerness. And also if you do wear these to the gym, they show sweat instantly. Like you even think about sweating, it's already showing the sweat. So also very similar to the Honor Mellow Soft tees, except it is about an inch longer. So personally, I do prefer these for lifestyle, just because even though I don't sweat that much at the gym, it just shows the sweat so fast. I know we shouldn't be embarrassed about sweat, but it's just like a little bit much. So the next new top in the Halo fabric, we have the Halo halter tank. It's a little bit hard to show halters. I did just get this in the black, even though I don't like to get black because I was just kind of limited on color options and I wanted to get something I could pair with most things. So made of that modal elastane fabric, kind of similar seam detail to the baby tee. We have that seam that kind of comes down the front here. Rounded neckline with a halter. This isn't going to be super super high support because the halo fabric is so stretchy, but that also means the halter isn't going to really hurt your neck too much. Another kind of waist length top, and a little bonus surprise that I didn't realize at first was we do have a full shelf bra with removable cups. So the sheerness of the top isn't that big of an issue because you just have that same fabric on the inside with the built-in bra. So let's try it on. Okay, here is this top. Loving how this fits. First of all, I think they said it was a waist length, but again, not waist length. It's a high hip, definitely longer than the baby tee. With the baby tees, I'm usually showing a little bit of skin. This is overlapping a good amount with a high rise. So here's a small on my waist and it goes a little bit to the high hip there. Perfect body skimming fit in this size small, not baggy anywhere, but also not skin tight. So really enjoying the fit of this. We have this scooping neckline, full side boob coverage, and give it a medium to full coverage overall. It definitely scoops a little bit in the front here. We have that full built-in bra with cup pads. Super low support though, just because this fabric doesn't have a lot of hold to it. That being said, again, the neck is really not feeling any strain, so I enjoyed that. And then we have those seams that kind of go down the front here. Very flattering, subtle. It'll be a little bit more visible in an option that's not black. I believe this comes in white as well. If you are getting the white, you probably will see the white shelf liner underneath it a little bit, so just keep that in mind because this fabric can be sheer. And then here's the back. It kind of scoops. Did not realize that this was mesh. Okay, I guess it's not mesh in the back, but it feels tighter. What's going on? Okay, the shelf liner actually stops at this second seam in the back. So you have the shelf lining, so you have the elastic that goes to there, but then it's seamless in the back. They're finally getting it, guys. When I reviewed the Oxjox baby tee that only had the shelf lining in the front, I was like, why can't Buffbunny or someone else do this? And they did. So you won't get any cutting in the back there, but we still get that support up in the front. So true to size, if you're in between, you can probably size down. It's very stretchy and actually really liking this one. And you guys, there's so many great things about this launch, including, you know, just better coverage options, bras that I don't have to worry about falling out of at the gym, longer tanks, etc. But we also have the return of some of my all-time favorite pieces from Buffbunny, including the Rainforest crop. You guys know, I love the Rainforest crop. When it first came out, I immediately knew that that was just the top for me, and I immediately bought it in 2 other colors. And you know, if I'm buying things in black and white, which is what I bought the Rainforest crop in, that it's good because that means I want to wear it with anything and everything. So I want the black and white to pair with all the things. So we have the Rainforest crop V2. This is also made of that new halo fabric. So because it's a V2, that means it is slightly changed from the original. So let's go over some details first and then we'll compare to the original. So we have this kind of scooping neckline, short sleeves, overall kind of a boxy, flowy fit. Then you have a keyhole cutout in the back with a little twist detail at the bottom. This is an amazing layering piece, especially if you want to show off a little bit of what you're wearing underneath. You can wear this in the back to show off the back of your sports bra, or you can wear this in the front and show off the front of your sports bra. I've done both. It's great to reverse. Like I said, I do have the original Rainforest crop, and I do think my Rainforest crop has shrunk a little bit in the wash, my OG, but I think overall this new one is bigger. So we'll do our side by side. First of all, the biggest difference is the fabric. The original is made of a modal polyester spandex. The new one is just modal spandex. And the original one does have a little bit more weight to it. It is a little bit more dense. It does still have flow to it, but it has a little bit more structure than the new one. Honestly, still deciding if I like this new fabric for it or not. Otherwise, the neck hole is definitely increased in size. We're not getting an off the shoulder moment in the new one, but the neck hole is definitely opened up quite a bit. It also hits like a good 2 inches longer, even though when I measured them, it wasn't really measuring 2 inches longer, but you do get a slightly longer fit. Overall, slightly more oversized. So if you like the fit of the original crop, you probably could size down, but I still do like the fit of the new one. It is a looser layering top, so sizing isn't as critical, but the new one is definitely more flowy and just a little bit bigger overall. So let's try it on. All right, here is an OG favorite, the Rainforest crop. Now with so much more flow to it, I'll have to see how I like this fabric for this shirt over time. I definitely love a flowy fit top like this, especially for a looser fit, but it just doesn't feel as like OG to me. Still the same style. So we have a little bit of a scooping neckline here. It is a waist length top if you actually see where it hits, but it just has a lot of drape to it. A little bit of a drop shoulder as well, and just kind of a boxy shape. But with that flowy halo fabric, it just kind of drapes along your body. And then the twist keyhole open back. I've loved this top for so long. It's one of the tops that I'm always layering over when I just want a little bit more coverage, but I don't really want anything clinging to me. Very lightweight, very breathable. And I've also worn it several times reversible as well. So if you just want a little peep at your sports bra, you can still see it. I do think that this fabric is more sheer than the original Rainforest crop fabric, but if you're kind of aiming to show your sports bra under it, it's not a huge deal anyway. Just be aware there is some sheerness, but still very excited for this top to be back. Finally, I have 3 of them and now I have 4. All right, next category of pieces, we are moving into seamless. Starting out with the Scoop Seamless Sports Bra. This one is not new and it does have updates. It's made of a ribbed seamless fabric. It's a nylon spandex. Here's the fabric up close. It has this nice soft feel and lots of stretch to it. Very simple sports bra with a scooping neckline, straight up and down tank straps, and then it scoops in the back as well. It does also have removable cups. And we've seen her before, but she's back and better. So comparing to the original Scoop Seamless Sports Bra, the biggest difference is the straps have come in quite a bit. The straps on this original one are pretty wide and just kind of wanted to slide off. So in the new one, these straps have been brought in. The neckline has also been raised a little bit more, so this one has great coverage. Definitely a large bust friendly bra. And then the straps have also come in quite a bit on the back as well. So let's try it on. All right. Ribbed seamless sports bra. This one has seen some changes, and at first I was like, why did it get changed? And then I tried on the old one and I was like, oh, the straps were going way out to the side. So definite improvements, a little bit more neckline coverage. Overall, I would consider this a full coverage bra now. Because it is a stretchy seamless though, we're only getting about a light to medium support. Nice tank straps. They still do go out a little bit, but I'm much more confident that these are going to stay in this time. Slightly more dense ribbing on the bottom here to kind of cinch in that bottom band. A little embroidered logo at the side. We do have removable cups. Really great coverage and large bust friendly on this one. And then in the back, the straps were brought in a lot, and I think this little scooping area was brought down a little bit as well. So I think this is definitely a very solid seamless bra in terms of coverage. There's not going to be any falling out or anything. It's just not like the most going on. I would have liked to see like the Shape Seamless Sports Bra was one of my favorites that we haven't seen back in a while. A little boring. Not that boring's always a problem, but I would like a little bit more. Then, you guys, the Miracle Seamless Leggings have come back. These launched in the Juicy collection, and they're Buffbunny's first under glute contour seamless leggings. When they launched in the Juicy collection, no one was able to review these before they came out because they were pre-order. But I did review these in my shapewear leggings video not that long ago, but we have some changes. So let's go over these first and foremost. So we have a dense seamless waistband, and all of the Miracle Seamless fabrics are marled compared to the Scoop Seamless Sports Bra, which is a solid. So the sports bras and leggings aren't going to entirely match, but they are that kind of tonal look that personally I like. Here's an up close of that seamless fabric. It has that heavy marl to it, very stretchy. So the waistband slightly dips down in the front. It's also a sewn on waistband, so the waistband is sewn onto the body of the leggings. The front has very minimal details here. It's the back where the action happens. So because the waistband is sewn onto the leggings, they were able to sew it on with this dramatic V contour. We have a short back rise seam so that you can put that seam between the cheeks. It acts like a scrunch, but without actually having any scrunching, and also isn't shiny. So if you hate that shiny scrunch appearance, this kind of reduces that. And then where the Miracle Seamless gets their name, first of all, we have this low compression, what I call booty out pouchings. So these can be a little bit difficult to fit on all bodies. I will say it's better than the first one. So first we have the booty out pouchings, and then we have the under glute compression. So here's that under glute compression. There's 2 layers. You have an ultra compressive, about 1 inch, and then you have another 1.5 inches or so of compression right underneath it. It's just not as tight as the top layer. And this is supposed to kind of squeeze and lift the glutes up into place. So the old Miracle Seamless versus the new, I'm definitely liking the changes. I still don't think they're quite perfect for me personally, but it is hard to fit into shapewear leggings when I'm sorry, I just do not have the shelf to fill this out. I don't think most people build a lot of glute muscle like right where the hip comes out, just like anatomically. So it's just kind of hard to fill that area. But the biggest difference is first of all, the rise has been increased a little bit. They wanted to kind of reduce the camel toe, so a little bit of rise increase in the front and in the back. It didn't feel like that was super noticeable. It seemed like maybe about a ½ inch when it was actually on me. The new marled material does feel stretchier, so honestly, I feel like you could size down. It's gonna be really hard to get on, but then when they're on, they're just gonna be snatching. The glute contour also has been raised. So again, unfortunately, I have not been able to work out in these yet. I hope to in the next couple days and provide an update. But even when trying these on, the glute contour was sitting in a much better position for me. The originals, the glute contour was sitting in my double butt area and just like literally giving me a double butt, and it just wasn't the most flattering. So this is sitting more in the crease of the glute for me, which is much better. And it also has been tightened. It doesn't feel super tight though, so I don't really feel like it's been tightened that much. And they also added more fabric to the hip area just to kind of decrease the sheerness, because people were having sheerness before. I only got the Lemon Pepino color before, and I wasn't really getting sheerness in it though. All that being said, I think these have definitely improved, but let's try them on and hopefully I can update you guys with a workout test. Okay guys, I have the updated Miracle Seamless on. Definitely think some good changes were made, but they are definitely a higher rise than before. They're nearing an ultra high rise, which I don't think they were ever supposed to be, but they did increase the rise. I think that was to help with some camel toe. I don't think I ever got camel toe in the original ones. That wasn't really an issue for me, but we have this compressive waistband that dips down a little bit in the front. These are seamless leggings, so no front seam. Overall, these leggings do feel a lot more stretchy than the original Miracle Seamless because they're made of that marled fabric. This just feels a lot more like the original Shape Seamless material rather than the slightly more dense original Miracle Seamless fabric. So we have a heavy marl to the fabric. That's what gives it that slightly lighter color compared to the solid bra. Moving on to the side, we start to see that Miracle contour detail come in. They did raise this, and I do feel like it's in a much better place than before. It wasn't as hard to get it to be right underneath my glute. You have the super tight contour detail, and then right below it, it's a little bit less compressive, but they did overall tighten this up, so it should be giving more lift. Overall, I'm not actually getting a ton of compression on these leggings. I honestly feel like I could size down, and this has been kind of a discussion with the Buffbunny girls. Like, these just feel like, I feel like I have a little bit of fabric, so I feel like if you really want a lot of compression under the glutes of these leggings, I would consider sizing down. We have that short back rise seam that acts like a scrunch and goes between the cheeks. You do get a little cellulite coverage having that ribbed compressive area under the glutes. Definitely high on the booty scale, and I still think these go a little bit high up to the point where the booty out pouchings, they're just going into an area where I just don't have any glute. Like, I don't have any glute on my hip bone. And unless you have like very circular, you know, shelf-like glutes, you're really not gonna fill out this top area. So you might get a little wrinkling of the fabric. It's a lot less than the original ones though. So I do think it's improved, but overall I think I could size down. We have those curved seams. Overall, I feel like I'm only getting like a medium to high compression under here, maybe just medium. And then overall, more like a low to medium compression. I am getting some waistband compression as well, but I am happy with the changes that they've made with these. I would like to see a few more changes in terms of the length because these are so stretchy. I had a lot of vertical stretch, so these were able to be a full length on me as well. I will do a workout test in these before the launch to see if that under glute area stays there or if it wants to slide down and give me a little double butt, like so many leggings like this do. But I will say it is a big improvement, and I think the marled fabric works a lot better for these because it's not quite as obvious that the contour is there. But overall, I just feel like they're running a little bit bigger. Okay, post-workout check-in with the Miracle Seamless. I think just that added fabric to the hips that they did to increase the squat proofness just made it so I'm getting like a little bit of extra fabric in the front here. So for that reason, I think you could size down. Also, I'm just not getting a ton of compression even under the glutes. There's definitely some under glute compression, and it's making the glutes look good. I'm definitely filling them out better after I have a glute pump versus before. Like, literally, whose glutes are these? But I still do get a little bit of that extra material right at the top of the glutes. I think that this all could just be lowered a little bit because it's just like it goes above to my hips, and my glutes aren't on my hips. The under glute area stayed in place a lot better on these, and the marl is just stretchier and easier to get on altogether. So definitely an improvement. I still think I would make like a couple more tweaks, but yeah. Oh, hey, you want to say hi? Would you like to say hi? Peach, say hi. Mama? Okay, do you want to make some biscuits, girl? Do you need another pillow to make your biscuits? All right, Peach wanted to sit on my lap, so we have another Peach appearance here, and I think she's gonna make her biscuits. You gonna make some biscuits, girl? No? Let me know when I can finish my filming. Okay, we're moving on to our last seamless piece. We have the Shape Seamless bodysuit. So this also launched in the Juicy collection. There are no changes, but I'm still gonna go over it because I just got it in black last time, so I was excited to get a color. So we have the Shape Seamless fabric. It is a marled, ultra stretchy fabric. Compared to the Miracle Seamless fabric though, which is supposed to be the same composition, I think, slightly different feel compared to the Miracle Seamless. This feels more like the Form Seamless. The Shape Seamless, it has some marl to it, but it's a little bit softer. The Miracle Seamless just has a little bit more grit to it. I don't know. It's not quite itchy seamless, but this is softer. It's giving shapewear bodysuit. So we have a sweetheart neckline with tank straps, a little gathering detail in the front here, and then we have this double thickness waist area. It's 2 layers of a compressive ribbed seamless like you would see in a seamless legging waistband, like when you're wearing a pair of Athlete Amplifies and they're snatching the waist. You have 2 layers of that all across the bodice here. We do have removable cups on the inside, but there's no underbust elastic. You just get that ribbing right underneath it, so you still kind of get that underbust support. Slight dip down in that waist area, no front seam, slightly extended gusset. The inseam is 24 inches, but these have insane vertical stretch, so I'm able to get a full length out of them. And then a short back rise seam to go up the glutes. Let's try it on. Alright guys, we have the Shape Seamless bodysuit. We have seen this before and there are not supposed to be any changes. I really can't detect any. And I did have black before, and now we have this hot pink, which is just so fun. So kind of feeling the same way I felt about it before. I just feel like there are some tweaks that I would make. Overall, I would consider this true to size. If you're in between, I probably would size down. Honestly, you don't even have to be in between. I really feel like I could wear an extra small in this. It would be a little bit more snatching in the waist. There's so much stretch in the hip area. My straps are a little bit long. I do feel like I could size down. So there is some room to play with sizing. Starting with the top here, we have removable cups, tank straps, and a little sweetheart neckline. You have this kind of gathered detail in the front here. This is one thing that I feel like kind of takes away from this bodysuit for me, because this really makes it feel like a Skims bodysuit, like shapewear underwear, not something I should be wearing, you know, to the gym. Am I still gonna wear this? Probably. But I wish they chose a slightly different way to do this, because it just kind of gives that Skims bodysuit effect. We do have removable cups. There's no underbust elastic or shelf lining, but you do have this ultra compressive area right below that still gives the underbust support. Unfortunately, the straps just don't really do any lifting for me. I really would have loved to see an adjustable strap. I know that can be hard on seamless, but I just kind of needed something so that the straps weren't so long, and I just need a little strap adjustability, especially for a bodysuit that's going to fit so many different heights. I feel like adjustable straps really just change the game. Then we have the waist area. This is a double thickness ribbed seamless. So it's not like a fabric and then a lining. It is 2 layers of this thick ribbed seamless. And I definitely get snatched, but part of the reason I feel like I could size down is that I feel snatched, but I don't feel like, it's not super tight. Like honestly, the Poshnit bodysuit felt more snug than this. And that one I felt like I was waist snatching. This one I almost don't really feel like I'm getting as much waist snatching. It almost just like, I don't know, I feel like I could do an extra small. So if you liked the fit of the Poshnit bodysuit and you really liked that waist snatching, I think you could consider sizing down in this one. We have a little V of the waist area and then kind of a seamless bottom. These do feel like the Form Seamless, the Shape Seamless, very stretchy marled fabric. This does kind of dip down at the bottom, but it doesn't fully go to the lowest of the lower tummy areas. So be aware of that. Kind of medium coverage on the top and like light to medium support. And then before I show the full length, this is the back. We have that compressive area, a little Buffbunny logo. Seams do go above the glutes, and you have a short back rise seam so that it can go between the cheeks and give you a little flattering glute moment. I almost feel like I have a little bit of fabric up in that upper glute area as well. And then the full length view. These do have a lot of vertical stretch, so I am able to get a full length out of these. The pink is so cute. I wish I would have trusted my judgment. I was almost gonna size down, and I feel like I would have liked to try that. But yeah, if you love ultra stretchy seamless, you love a snatching waist, You're gonna love this one. Okay, the final section is the cardio section. This isn't a fabric, but this is how they separated things. So before we get into the running shorts, the Aurora tank is back. It's not quite back because the original was the Aurora crop. This is the Aurora tank. I think they've just kind of made some updates and changed the name. And if you are an OG Buff Bunny girly, you will know the Aurora crop. This is as OG as it gets when it comes to Buff Bunny. So now we have the Aurora tank. Slight difference in fabric. We have the Perform fabric here, 75% nylon, 25% spandex. It's a lightweight, sleek performance. It's very sweat wicking. Here's an up close of that fabric. Sleek, doesn't collect any cat fur or anything, and has good stretch. So we have a slight scoop in the neck, tank straps. It does kind of taper in the back as well. And the Aurora crop always had a larger Buff Bunny logo on it. So you can see in the bottom left corner here, we have that large tonal silicone logo. Comparing the original Aurora crop to the new Aurora tank, quite the difference in fit and in length. You can definitely see that. The original was a true crop length, like above waist. In the new Aurora tank is more of a waist meet and greet length. So it does hit the top of my leggings. It also runs bigger. I didn't know this when we were making our size choices. So personally, I would size down in this so that I have more of a body contouring fit, because right now it is a relaxed fit. So if you want a slightly relaxed fit, stay true to size, no need to size up. If you want it to fit more like the original Aurora crop, size down 1 or 2 sizes really, because this is quite tiny compared to the original. The straps are also slightly thicker on the new one as well, so let's try it on. All right, here we are with the new Aurora tank. Honestly, love the length of this. It is a perfect meet and greet length. It is a lot bigger than the original. The original is almost a little bit too snug, but then this is a little bit too loose. So it almost feels like 2 sizes up from the original Aurora crops. Personally, I would size down. I wasn't aware of the sizing being so different when I placed my order for this. So yeah, it is skimming my bust up at the top here, but I definitely have some looseness at the bottom. I also think I have a little bit more coverage at the top here as well, scooping away from the neck here. I do have a regular bra on underneath and it does peep out a little bit. I probably would wear a racerback sports bra under this, like a Rosa bra would be great. This one should work under this as well. The tank straps are just a little bit thicker. The material is also a little bit more thin and lightweight, a little bit stretchier. So this is the Perform fabric. It's still a nylon spandex like the original top, just a little bit different of a composition. We have that big tonal logo on the side here. And then the straps do slightly come in at the back. So again, because I'm wearing a normal bra under this, you're going to see that. So I would suggest a racerback. But yeah, I would consider this a waist length meet and greet. I love that Buff Bunny is expanding their options for slightly longer tops that aren't itty bitty crops. If I wanted an itty bitty crop, I would just wear a sports bra. So I love having a little bit more length. All right, now we're on to the Buff Bunny running short crash course. I have every pair of loose style running shorts that Buff Bunny has ever come out with, and we're gonna compare them all. First, let me go through a few things that I've learned as someone who runs and their thighs touch, what I've learned about loose style running shorts. First of all, there is no running short that's not going to ride up if it's loose. There's physically nothing that keeps it down, so your thighs are gonna eat them up. So if your thighs touch like mine and you're like, where's the loose style running short that doesn't get eaten up by my thighs? Stop looking, because it literally doesn't exist. So you just kind of have to know what length works for you. For me, I actually prefer a shorter short because it's just less fabric for my thighs to eat up. I've also found that an open style short detail like this is best for my curvier girlies. Well, I don't necessarily have a curvy shape. I do have a larger waist to hip discrepancy. So I do often get that kind of diapery look in running shorts because most brands don't make these type of shorts for people who do have a large difference in their waist and their hip. So having this split open side just gives you a little bit of extra room so that you don't get that tight diaper butt kind of look. So this is something I always look for. For running, I actually do prefer to have the brief liners. I was a brief liner hater for years until I started running. I just didn't really get it. Again, less fabric to ride up, and that's kind of nice to have when you're running and everything's gonna ride up anyway. When I'm walking though, and I do want a little bit more coverage, I do want a short liner. So luckily Buff Bunny has both. So we have 3 different loose style shorts in this collection to suit your needs. I have all 3 of them, so let's go over it. Also the new Flirty Flo shorts, the colors match the One More collection. They probably just just didn't make it into that launch. So if you're wondering why these don't kind of go with the colorways, that's why. Starting out with the sway shorts, we've seen the sway shorts before. The sway shorts are probably the curviest friendly option because not only do we have this split outside hem, but the outer fabric is actually stretchy, which is very rare to find in a running short like this. I hesitate to call them running shorts because I wouldn't run in the sway shorts. I learned that the hard way. We'll get into that. Anyways, we have an elastic waistband that's covered with this sleek flow fabric. So the sleek flow fabric is a sleek performance material that just has a little bit of flowiness to it. Here's an up close of the fabric. It's sleek, doesn't attract fur, has a little flow to it, and this is a raw cut hem as well. These are a high rise, and the fabric drapes in a way that almost mimics more of a skirt instead of shorts. Then when it comes to the inner shorts, we have a no front seam short lining. The inner shorts are a 4-inch inseam. We have pockets on both sides. And the outer shorts are actually only a 1-inch inseam, but because they have a little bit of drape to them. Another thing about running shorts, I prefer when the outer layer is visibly longer than the inner layer. I don't like when the shorts pop out. The sway shorts I think are super cute if you like that flirty option and you're more walking, but I'll show you in the try on what happens when I run in these, but it's just not cute when I run in these. The fabric just gets eaten up by my thighs more than anything I've ever tried. So still love these for walking, but let's try them on. All right, you guys, here are the sway shorts. I fell in love with these last year, but they're definitely better suited for walks than for runs because I got these just as I was starting my running journey. And when I'm walking, like my thighs don't eat things up too much, but when I'm running, my thighs really do enjoy a little snack of some fabric between the thighs. So when I run in these, I get like this like really bad diapering situation that looks like this, where all the fabric just gets really tight around this area. So that is just my warning that I really don't wear these that often for running, but if you prefer like a little hot girl walk short that has some really good flow to it, this is going to be our kind of skirtiest, flirtiest option today. So no changes on these. They have a high rise. The waistband is an encased elastic, and the outer material, unlike a lot of running shorts, is actually stretchy. So I do find these to be a more curvy friendly option for running shorts. They do have a slight overlap at the sides, so you'll see the fabric kind of overlaps here, and then we have the shorts on the inside. These do fit a full phone. We have a pocket on the left and on the right, and they're very spacious. And then in the back, they just kind of drape over the glutes and nicely. Having this open side detail is going to be really great if you do have larger glutes because there's just a little bit of extra give, so it's not going to cling to your glutes as much. That inner inseam is 4 inches. It is a little bit snug. You can see a little bit of sausaging going on. Personally, I wouldn't want to size up, but I know a lot of people do size up in these shorts, so true to size or size up if you are nervous about a little bit of thigh squishing. Let's start out with the Flirty Flo bikini short. So these are labeled as a high rise short. I got more of a mid to high rise on these ones, but we have this smocked waistband, and smocked just means it kind of has this gathered style effect. The inside of the waistband on these has a loop cord drawstring, so you can tie that if the waist isn't quite tight enough for you. The outer layer on the bikini short is 2.5 inches, so it is quite short. We have that tulip side detail that I love. And then we have the brief lining. It actually has great coverage in the front. It's not really a classic bikini shape, it's more brief. Double thickness in the gusset area if you don't want to wear underwear underneath these. And there's also a little secret pocket in the back of the briefs, so you actually still have a pocket in these, which is really hard to find on brief style running shorts. Let's try these on. Okay, these are the bikini version of the shorts. They're supposed to be a high rise. They're hitting me just a teeny bit lower than that. So kind of mid to high rise if you're a long torso. Most people should be a high rise. We have this smocked waistband with an inner draw cord. So for me, I don't really need to tie the inner draw cord because this is already fitting so well. These are a little bit shorter than the boy shorts. We have this outer soft shell material that has good flow to it, minimal noise, and a bonded edge so that you can avoid having any more seams. You get this really seamless look. We have that little tulip overlaid side detail. I love having this. In my running short review, we talked about how this just leads to so much more movement. Really, the only running shorts I like have this outer tulip detail. And then in the back, because of that tulip detail, and just because these were made a little bit more curvy friendly than most shorts, I'm not getting that diaper butt effect. So these are very short, but as we learned in my running short review, all shorts ride up, okay? If you have thick thighs, all shorts ride up. So did these get eaten up on my run? Yes, but because they're so short, I actually prefer a shorter short because it's just less fabric to get eaten up. That being said, it was a little bit of a windy day when I was running, so we did have a couple like flashing moments. Luckily, I was with Ian. I did feel very exposed. I also felt like this little bikini detail, I did have to adjust it a couple times on the run as well. I was kind of trying to like ride up a little bit, and it doesn't really want to stay super low on the glute. But I really love the front brief coverage because look how wide it goes. It's not like super skinny coverage down there. It's actually pretty wide. These are personally my choice for all of the Buffbunny shorts today for running in the heat. This would never have been the case if I never started running. I would probably hate these. So you just have to pick the shorts based on your activities. But I would say you do have to be comfortable with being a little bit more exposed with these because of that brief short lining. But I think that is to be expected. In terms of sizing, I would say overall true to size, but if you're in between, I would probably size up just because you could get a little bit more space and you could always tighten it with the loop drawstring. One more view of the back, you do obviously see a little bit of that underwear lining. That's just to be expected with a brief undershort like this. And then we have the Flirty Flo boy short. So the outer short is very similar to the bikini version. We have that smocked waistband, we have the loop cord drawstring, we have that outer soft shell material with a little tulip style hem that leaves it open at the sides. But instead of a bikini lining, we do have inner shorts. So these are a 4-inch inner short with no front seam, and we have pockets on both sides of the inner shorts. Now we'll compare the Flirty Flo boy shorts to the bikini. The biggest difference, I did get a little bit more rise out of the boy short, and the only difference is not the lining. These are overall a longer short. So if you want more coverage, you're definitely gonna wanna go for the boy short. The outer short inseam on these is about 3.75 to 4 inches, where on the bikini version, it was only 2.5 inches. So you're getting about 1.5 inches more length on the outer short. That's really the main difference, but I also felt like this one didn't have quite as much room in the hip area for me. It was giving me a little bit more diaper butt. So let's try these on. All right, here are the Flirty Flo with the short lining. Getting a more true high rise on this one. This one is kind of reminding me of a similar fit to the Hot Girl Run shorts. I feel like they're running just a little bit small. We have that smocked waistband with the internal draw cord. Again, because these are a little bit on the smaller side, I don't feel the need to tighten the draw cord. I would definitely size up if you're in between, or if you just carry a little bit more weight in the glutes. We'll talk about that in a second. But the outer shorts on these are a little bit longer than on the bikini version. And we have a 4-inch inseam on the inner short. I am getting a little bit of thigh tightness, similar to the sway shorts as well. So just keep that in mind. Honestly, it kind of just keeps the shorts in place a little bit, but if you really don't want any tightness on the thighs, I would size up. I love having the pockets on both sides of the inner shorts here, and I like that with these compared to the other Buffbunny shorts that we've seen, we're not seeing like a super long lining and then super tiny outer shorts. So I feel like it's a really good balance where the outer shorts are hitting right where the inner shorts are. Obviously you see it at the side there, but that's kind of intentional with the little overlap tulip detail. This is going to be the short that you'll want to pick if you are someone who wants a little bit more coverage, because when your leg does come up and this little tulip area, if you're in the wind, it gets kind of flown away, you're still fully covered with a short. And because these are 4-inch inseam with the shorts, even if they ride up a little bit, your cheeks are still fully covered. So really love what they're doing with the length and everything on these shorts. Unfortunately, I just feel like I do get a little bit of diapering in the back, which I wasn't really expecting because I didn't feel the same way with the bikini shorts. So even though you have this little tulip detail, it's never going to be fully too tight in the back, but I would have liked just a little bit more draping back there. So because of that, I do think these run just a teeny bit small. And then lastly, with the riding up, for me, these are something I would wear on walks and not runs, because having these shorts on the inside, I just know over time, like how easy that was for that just to ride up entirely. You have to know your body. With me, a 4-inch short is just lunch for these thighs. So I just know it would end up like this after a run, and I much prefer having the bikini lining because it doesn't get as uncomfortable with all of this fabric. The inner shorts are providing about a medium compression right now. It's made of a sleek performance material, but definitely still on the lightweight side, so these still would be good for spring and summer. So yeah, these are definitely a short I'm going to get a lot of use out of for walks, but probably not really runs for me. Now I just wanted to talk about some past Buffbunny shorts and how they compare to these new Flirty Flo shorts. First of all, we have to talk about the original Flo shorts. I used to love these. I can't believe I ever liked them. Looking back at how they actually look on me, I'm like, these look bad. First of all, they're super high rise. The outer short is honestly a similar length. It's a 3-inch inseam, but the inner short on these is itty bitty. It's about 1.75 inches. So something I like about these new Flirty Flo boy shorts is that the inner short is actually long enough to cover my cheeks, whereas these little 1 to 2 inch inseams on the Flo shorts just stood no match for my thighs. My cheeks would be out. This one also had an external stretchy drawstring and didn't have that open tulip detail on the side, so you can see it's really clinging to my butt and giving me that kind of diaper butt, whereas the new ones, even though they're a little bit tighter than I want, that tulip detail helps a lot with the movement. The Flirty Flo boy shorts are probably most similar to the Lifesaver shorts. I still think these are an amazing short, but I do think the new ones are improved. Lifesaver outer inseam was 1.5 and the inner inseam was 2 inches. So we almost have double that on the new shorts, which again just means my cheeks are covered. The Lifesaver shorts did have the tulip hem detail and a couple other details as well, but I definitely like the fit of the new ones. Inner drawstring versus outer drawstring. They both have pockets on the inside. These are definitely ultra high rise though, and these are more of just a classic high rise. And lastly, we saw the Buffbunny Hot Girl Run shorts maybe a year or so ago. These are honestly a similar rise, but the biggest difference, and you can see it when I'm holding them up, is the Hot Girl Run shorts had kind of my pet peeve with running shorts. I just don't like to see the inner shorts peeping out too much. The outer shell was only 2 inches and the inner shell is 4 inches, and this is basically 4 and 4, so you do get like 2 extra inches of the outer shell. This has a very similar waistband with the smocked waistband in the inner drawcord, but the pockets were only on the outside, and again, pockets just don't really work in this outer shell material. And because there was no split hem at the side, these ones were definitely giving diaper. So again, definite improvements on the new shorts. So overall with the Flirty Flo shorts, I actually really think that Buffbunny nailed it with having 2 different options. The bikini option is great for runners who just want minimal fabric and are okay being a little bit exposed. But the boy short is perfect if you're wanting just a little bit of extra coverage, but they're long enough to actually give you coverage, unlike some of the previous Buffbunny versions that just had 2-inch inner inseams that my cheek would come out. And the outer soft shell isn't super short. It kind of matches the length of those inner shorts. So in terms of shorts with an inner short lining, I definitely think these are the best that Buffbunny has done, even if they run just a little bit small. And the last piece of clothing that I did not get is the Radiant short sleeve tee. This is just your classic 100% cotton Buffbunny graphic tee, coming in a few different colors. I just don't really wear regular graphic tees very much, so I chose not to get this one. Okay guys, we finally made it to the end, which is accessories. I thought we were done, and then I realized we had accessories. There are actually quite a few accessories in this collection. Most of them we've reviewed before, so we're just gonna go through them quickly, but I'm super excited to see so many accessories coming in fun colors. Obviously this is not a fun color, but Game Changer backpacks are back. I'll put all of the dimensions and everything on the screen here, but this was the bag I used for several years in dental school. The key component of this bag is the insulated food compartment at the bottom. You can just throw your lunch in here and it's insulated all day and you don't need to bring a separate bag. Tonal Buffbunny logo and tonal hardware on the zippers as well. Oh, this is a Game Changer Max. That was actually the bigger version of the Game Changer backpack, which had more accurate hardware and everything. This is an old one, but this is more accurate to the sizing. So there's 2 side pockets. They have zippers on the side. You can't really fit a water bottle in the side, which has always been a bummer to me. You have a main zip pocket with some mesh pockets. There is a water bottle mesh pocket on the inside as well, zippered pocket in there too. And then this hidden side pocket for your laptop and everything, and then adjustable straps, and the material is water resistant. I don't wear my backpack too much anymore since I've been using my tote for, but this served me for years and it's just such a great bag. There's also the Game Changer mini backpack, super cute little size. This one also has 2 outside pockets and then 1 main zippered pocket with mesh pockets on the inside. And it can be worn as a backpack or a crossbody. I never figured out how to make it a crossbody, but I've seen it be done before. I did just reorganize my closet and I can't find mine right now, but I'll insert photos. Breakthrough belt bag is coming back as well. I love this belt bag, specifically for the extender part. So many belt bags don't get small enough to actually fit my waist, or they don't get big enough for larger bodies. So not only is this belt bag adjustable, but it has an optional extender so you get even more length out of it. I also just love the matte look of it with the tonal branding, spacious inner area with mesh pockets, and then a zippered pocket in the back, little D-ring on the side. I use this all the time in the summer, just running errands, things like that. And then we have the everyday duffel. This is new. I have reviewed the ultimate pocket duffel. That's my current gym bag, but the everyday duffel is your affordable duffel alternative. This one is $40, which is much more affordable compared to the other one. And these fun colors are so cute. Like, have you ever seen a neon pink gym bag? I love that they just went for the bright colors. So first of all, we have these side pockets that are actually pretty spacious. Or my lip gloss on my water bottle. But yeah, you could definitely fit a water bottle in this side pocket. Very spacious. We have two main straps that do have a little connector so you can hold it all in one piece. And I also really like the length of this strap. I can wear it on my shoulder. The ultimate pocket duffel is a little bit hard to wear on my shoulder. We have that same style pocket on the other side. In the front, we have tonal Buffbunny branding. And then the inside is mostly just one open pocket. But on the one side, you have these little nylon drop-in pockets. So I would put like my keys, my phone, chapstick, things like that there. And then on the other side, you have another drop-in pocket. This one has zip closure. And then there's an optional crossbody strap that you can strap on here. I personally am a pocket girly, so I like the pockets of the ultimate pocket duffel a little bit more just because I have so many things. But this can definitely fit a barbell pad. I love that it's long enough for that and for most of your needs. And the colors are so cute. It's coming in black. This is hard candy, and it's also coming in gusher, which is a super bright purple. Okay, we gotta wrap this video up before I lose my voice. I think I already slightly lost it. All right, time for top picks. Honestly, basically all of the Nubre items are great options, especially 6-inch legacy shorts as the weather warms up a little bit. I really like that reversible racerback sports bra, as well as the new Rosa bra. That's also a classic. I am really excited about the new Flirty Flo running shorts. I think they're gonna be great. It's already gonna be 90 degrees next week here in Arizona, so I definitely needed some lightweight shorts. Very excited to see the Rainforest crop back. I hope that comes back in more colors. And honestly, I'm pleasantly surprised with the updates to the Miracle Seamless leggings. I think they're much better than before. I'm gonna wear them to the gym and we're gonna hope for the best. All right, guys, that is everything. I hope you enjoyed this review. Make sure to leave your questions down below and give this video a thumbs up if it was helpful. Again, the Buffbunny Unbreakable launch is happening on Saturday, March 29th at 1 p.m. Central Time, and you can use my code Catherine for 10% off. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you for being patient with my videos always. I know everyone wants the video as soon as the launch is announced, but it takes time to put this together, to try all the pieces. I want to give you guys as comprehensive of a review as I can, because that's what we do here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!